That's worked, right?
Right.
Yes, here we go. So this is our new project, only collaborating with some ancient Chinese kind of facility and to working on the ancient Nushu. Is a kind of a really interesting character design, and we use AI as a training mode to training the machine to understand this kind of ancient Chinese text. So because like Professor Sean mentioned about the Chinese characters, so I'm really willing to show this to your guests. And right now I'm doing my first presentation, and thanks for the previous research from Guangdong Technology University, give a really good like example about digital art, summarize of digital art. And after this kind of theoretical summary, I think I will talk about a little bit technology support for how to archiving this kind of digital art. So actually, before I submitted this paper, this is only a Envision system, but after half year's development, we almost finished the developing of this system. So I will show the video in the next section. So the title of our research is Envisioning Immersive MultiScreen VR system for museum archive browsing. I'm the presenter today. My name is Ze Gao. I'm from Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. Okay, so let me introduce a little bit the background, and there are five keywords here. And first, the museum archiving, and because all the world has a lot of private or public museum, especially the contemporary art museum and art museum, there are a lot. And second keyword is virtual reality. And I think you guys already know during the COVID-19 and the virtual reality museum become very, very popular. A lot of museums start to spend a lot of money working on the virtual reality. And some of them use 3D scanning and use the SLAMs, 3D scanning to reconstruction the virtual space of the physical museum. Also, some of the museum and gallery to created new conceptual virtual reality space and to have to use the VR system, the headset to traveling the artwork. And third keyword is the interactive system. And I believe you guys have experience get into the virtual reality museum or galleries. But to be honest, like my previous experience is there's no much interactive because there are avatar help you, and from the very beginning to see all of the exhibiting digital artworks and in the virtual space. After that, you're done. This is kind of a one-time tour. And even there's no any user stickiness, the user will never come back. And like if the museum not update their artworks. So and the branching, so you guys also see the Arrowman have this kind of like virtual system, like AR system can manipulate all of the objects and information from the air. So that looks really cool, looks really interesting. But right now we use our VR headset already can done something like this. And the virtual reality is come to the metaverse space, and metaverse can do a lot of different things. Also, like there have backstage can storage a lot of data. So after this kind of background introduction, I'll introduce these two digital art archive websites, which is really famous. And the first on the left is ADA, is Archive of Digital Art. And there are archive a lot of the digital art from the very beginning. And I think all of the digital art that are mentioned in the previous researcher can get the artwork in this database. But the version of the storage database in the ADA, which is image, video, poor video, some like really early age artwork is a poor video, poor quality video, and text. There are only this kind of three formats: photo, video, and text. And the right side is the Ars Electronica archive, and this is much more popular and famous. And as we can see in the photo, there I have this kind of text, photo, image, and also have a documentary of the exhibition space. I think that's it. So there are nowadays all of the documentary.
Having trouble seeing your slides? Could you try resharing? We can't see
yeah.
right now.
Let me see you.
Okay, I only see my face impression, right? So what about now?
Not yet.
No, yeah. Let me try that again. So why today have a lot of technical issues?
Yeah, lots of stuff happening today. If you go back to the Zoom and just press that green button at the bottom, hopefully it should work.
It's work?
Yes, there we go.
Starting.
Okay. So I think suddenly they're just shuttled down the screen sharing. Okay. So as I mentioned before, there are two really famous platforms. One is the ADA, one is Ars Electronica. And there are storage a lot of digital art, but right now the format of the storage database is only text, photo, documentary, video, and poor quality for the really early age digital artworks. And so we start to thinking about like in the with the headset, the virtual reality, can we use the information retrieval not limited by the medium X size? And also the complement of the two dimensionals, because all of the artworks, digital artworks we are seeing the website is 2D dimensional, especially for this archive website. And as I mentioned before, a lot of museum and galleries start to use this kind of virtual reality space to storage their artworks. But all of this kind of stuff is more like online exhibition. It's not like a huge like space for storage digital artworks. And also we cannot really see the different dimension of the artworks. And so next part, I'm gonna introduce our MultiScreen VR system for the museum archive. So we did a little bit of formative study, which we invited curator, artist, and the general audience, and to give us more feedback about VR experience. And the content is a lot of museum, as I mentioned before, during the COVID, they're adopted VR for like keep the museum open, because during the COVID, there are a lot of small gallery and museums that are closed because there's no tourist. And the problem is the challenge and the dynamics of online museum archiving. We need to give them the more blood and more like information. And the methodology we use for this kind of formative study, we did questionnaires and we did semi-structured interviews and get a lot of really interesting feedback from the professional curators. And the system that we're gonna use is try to improve the archiving method and the systems that we're gonna use right now. And here is the interactive functions, and the left side has a photo to show the VR like information retrieval system. And the bottom right has there two users can use this VR system together. And the right side, I have three keywords for you guys to introduce interactive function. The first, interaction with a virtual space, and you can use 3D scanning or something else, put all of the artworks into the virtual space, and you can see the different angle of the artworks, even the sculpture, and you can really feel the sculpture, but you cannot touch that. And that is another research. And for the interactions, because there are a lot of archived digital artworks, even for the video and like experimental video, and you cannot really interact with them. But in the virtual space, and our system try to help the audience to interact with archived digital artworks. Such example, like in the physical space, we can finger touch and physical interactive with interactive artwork, art display. In virtual space, sometimes it's hard to do this kind of interaction because you cannot really feel that. But to be honest, in the physical museum, even you cannot touch the artworks. Some of the artworks you can touch. And so our system is designed for searching and browsing the archiving data, which is include sculptures, experimental video, photographies, not limited to the 2D dimensional. And the first left photo is the first stage of our system. Right now we have like the second version of our system, and I can show the video. So here is the kind of interactive functions we have right now. Yes, so this system is not only designed for the museum information, like data information retrieval, also we can use that for the pre-learning process, such as before I go into the museum, I can use kind of multi-screen to get different information about this museum, like how can I get to the museum and what is the open hour of this museum. So this kind of multi-screen, like after our user study, we can emphasize this is much more efficiency than the single screen. And let me deal a little bit conclusion. And the topic that we are working on is a new multi-screen VR system for the museum archive, and which is enhanced a lot of user experience. And the function we are using is a primary and secondary browser. So we can put the important information in front of our eyes. We can put the secondary information, not really important, far away from me. And I think you guys have this kind of experience, like when you go into the website and you think this information is not really important. So I want to go back to find that, but it's really hard to find that website, even in the history, because you're watching so many websites. So the basic concept is a basic data retrieval and during this function. And the process we are working on is to try to change the limitations of VR built-in browser, like the VR lens, the headset. They have the system browser, which is now works really good. Even the button and the interactive system is not really sensitive. Sometimes they are really sensitive, so it's not works really good. So we are changing this to this kind of immersive MultiScreen VR experience for the museum archive browsing. And for the future study, definitely we're gonna integrate with design and put the integrated design, co-design process, and also collaborating with kind of metaverse museum, which not only including this kind of pre-learning process and virtual museum tour. I think this is my presentation. This system is an evasion system. So this is the second stage of systems, not really finished yet. We're gonna add more elements and interactive functions into this system and try to make the virtual exhibition or virtual museum have more information, more interesting activities. Thank you.